Attention, everybody. The views and opinions expressed on the show are not necessarily those of Acts Ministry, Acts Media Group, and or their affiliate and supported ministries and or nonprofits. And as always, some of the content on some of our shows might be adult in nature, and you might need to use discretion while watching with your children. So, that being said, here he is, the man, the plan, man with the plan to put gold in your hand, Tony Hammock.
Thank you, Matt.
It's been a while since I've done this.
I don't know if I should watch. This is crazy. No, I'm just kidding. Great. Thank you for the intro and stuff. Hey, everybody out there. A little snow. I didn't know that was going to happen, but, you know, if it's Southwest Missouri, if you don't like the weather, wait 15 minutes and it'll change probably. So if you're not in Southwest Missouri, you probably don't know what I'm talking about, but we woke up to about an inch of snow out there, and it's kind of interesting sometimes how the weatherman can be right on, and then other times maybe not so much. And so anyway, I got a good show set up for us today. And by the way, this will be the last show at this time slot. Next week, we will not be on Wednesday morning. We'll be on Thursday morning and an hour later. So Thursday morning at 10 a.m., and we'll be there going forward. So, which is kind of a nice little change and stuff. Although I do have my Wednesdays kind of wired around, you know, the whole show and all that stuff. But anyway, it's been a crazy week in the market, all markets, since we last talked. And you know, some of the things that I always say, you know, seem to come true, which is there's a lot of volatility, there's a lot of speculation. We can make volatility our friend by you know, using dollar cost averaging and tools like that and so forth. So stay tuned. We'll probably cover a couple things here that might be useful if you're trying to take advantage of some of those different trends out there. You know me, if you watch week in, week out, I like to kind of start with the stewardship course, because really that's what this show was created around when Jim Winan and I kind of thought about doing a second show. This is the second show I've had on Acts Media, and this one revolves around alternative assets, gold, silver, Bitcoin, palladium, platinum, copper, you know, things like that are not normally the ones that you know, have people talking about at parties and stuff. I mean, everybody wants to talk about the stock market and, you know, all these different things, and I like to be a little contrarian. So that's the reason for the show, and to provide some ideas on stewardship. And today's course, this is number 7, I believe it is, out of 10, is called The Obligation to Pay Debts. It says, you may be tempted to walk away from indebtedness, but walking away from a debt is not scriptural. Psalm 37:21 states very clearly, the wicked borrows and does not pay back, but the righteous is gracious and gives. We have an obligation to pay our debts, and God will help us pay them if we'll turn to Him and trust Him for wisdom. When we come to Him in this way, His Word promises He'll come to our aid and show us the best way to get out of financial bondage. God does not promise, however, a miracle to absolve us of debt that's accrued because of our sin or foolishness. He will help us get out of debt in these instances, but He does not miraculously restore our loss. The truth is, unless you change the habits and attitudes that got you into debt in the first place, you'll more than likely cycle in and out of debt for the rest of your life. So make the decision to be resolved to pay your debts. Don't seek to escape them. Don't ignore them. Set a goal date for the payment of each bill. Work steadily, consistently, and patiently toward full payment of what you owe. Thank God for His help as you pay off each bill. Make the payment of your debts an opportunity for praise. Don't complain about the bills that remain or criticize yourself or others for your indebtedness. Review your financial expenditures weekly. Take a long look at how you became a victim of debt and make the necessary changes in your credit card, borrowing, and spending habits. Once you're free from debt, praise God for helping you to be free from financial bondage. Ask for His continual help so that you might live debt-free for the rest of your life. Trust Him to guide and help you as you move forward in and through your journey to financial peace. Render to all what is due them. Tax to whom tax is due. custom to whom custom, fear to whom fear, honor to whom honor. Owe nothing to anyone except to love one another, for he who loves his neighbor has fulfilled the law. That's Romans 13:7 and 8. And that is the devotional for the day on our stewardship course. That's interesting. I mean, as far as the lesson itself, and basically just getting it done. If you've had to go into debt, there was probably a reason, and I know that it's best to live within your means. And take care of those obligations and stuff. But I can tell you that it is really neat to be debt-free. I can remember what that was like. And, it's kind of neat not to have to, plan for the different bills and stuff that are for debt. I mean, we got the common ones for like utilities and food and all that, transportation, things like that and so forth. But anyway, I almost forgot. This is a shout out to my wife, Lorna. Happy anniversary. Today is our 14th anniversary, and I've already said happy anniversary this morning. But the rest of the day, I'm going to have to be careful, especially with this snow. I'm not going to be able to do some of the things that I planned. So we'll probably put a few things off till Saturday. So enough of that. As far as the markets go, I was just telling Matt and Jason, I said, anytime I've seen the market at like this in my career, and I've been in this business since, 1983, I think it was. So however long that is, we got 21 plus 17, what's that, 38 years. When you have IPOs coming out, and I mean, just, one after another. And now they've got these new things called SPACs, and which is a little shorter for them as far as the process of coming public. And there's even a new one that I can't even remember the name of that allows some companies to get out there and get traded. But anytime you have, this kind of activity and this kind of frenzy, it's almost like a feeding frenzy as far as, people bidding things up so fast and stuff. I mean, this wasn't an IPO, but GameStop, here just in the last week has, gone up several 100%. And some people think it's because it was shorted, and what they're trying to do is squeeze the shorts out. And I think they finally got the last one out. I want to say his hedge fund, Melvin, I want to say, was in the paper this morning. But anyway, where I'm going with this is sometimes it seems when it gets to be this much of a frenzy is that it's kind of a sign that there's probably a downturn right around the corner. And I even noticed this morning when I first got up that a few of the companies that announced earnings overnight and after the market closed yesterday were a little disappointing, and at least the futures this morning before the opening were down like 300 or something. So we'll see. I know there's some pretty big ones announcing their earnings today. I want to say Facebook and Apple and Tesla, I believe it is. So not that we're here to talk about equities or stocks or securities or anything like that. Let's get into talking about the things that we do want to talk about, which is let's look at gold and silver. And gold and silver have been having an interesting little run because they haven't been going like straight up like you would think with some of the things that have been going on and stuff. And in a way that's kind of healthy because a lot of folks look at that and think of it as what they call consolidating. At 9/11 this morning, now these first few are prices of precious metals. At 9/11 this morning, gold was at $1,847.30 an ounce. That's the ask, and these are the spot prices. Silver was at $25.27 an ounce. Platinum was at $1,078, and palladium was at $2,408. And rhodium was at 18,000. And the base metals, now these prices will be by pound. Copper is at $3.55 a pound. Nickel is at $8.08. Aluminum is 91 cents, let's call it. Zinc is $1.17 a pound. Lead is 91 cents, and uranium is $29.50 a pound. Crude oil, is now $52.22 a barrel. And now think about that for a second. You know, it wasn't long ago, I want to say maybe 6-7 months ago, that there was a show where we were in here and I was doing the price, and the price of a barrel of crude was negative. Remember that? That was crazy. But anyway, the Dow Jones Industrial Average as of 9/10, yep, it opened down 511 points. It's down about 1.6%. It's at 30,425. NASDAQ is down 264 points. It's at 13,362. The S&P 500 is down 70. It's 3,779. And, well, here's a reason why gold's maybe down a little bit. The U.S. dollar is up 57 cents. So that is a key indicator for gold. If the dollar gets weak or weaker, gold will go up. If the dollar strengthens, gold will go down. So you've got a couple things going on there. Let's look at cryptos real quick, because I know we like to track a few of these. Oh my goodness. Well, here's an interesting story. Bitcoin. Jason was just saying this too. Bitcoin's down 8.23%. It's at 29,877, and that's one of the few times here in the last 60 days, I would say, maybe more, that it's been below 30,000. So kind of an interesting development there. Ethereum is down 9.66%, so it's at 1235, and those might be, you know, things to kind of take a peek at as far as a buying opportunity. And, you know, that gets back into this thing that I talk about all the time, which is dollar cost averaging. I mean, you know, we can sit here and we can look at the prices of anything, you know, Apple, computer, Bitcoin, gold, silver, you know, postage stamps, you know, whatever it is, as far stamps for collecting, that is. And, you know, I mean, the prices are going to change. And, you know, it's not always a perfect world where you can buy at the bottom and hold on and sell at the top. So if it were, I mean, that would be phenomenal. But more often than not, a lot of people, you know, they buy at the top and sell at the bottom. And that's not good. That will lead to disappointment quickly, I'm sure. But this dollar cost averaging strategy works. And all that is, you know, let's say with Bitcoin, if you were interested in getting into Bitcoin and so forth, you would just start with a dollar amount that you could afford, and, you know, on a monthly basis or a weekly basis, whatever, there again, it's all, you know, case by case, what your budget can afford. You know, you would take and put X amount in. Let's say it's $50. You know, you start at 50, and once a month you put another 50 in, and, you know, if the price has gone up, you're going to buy less on that transaction. And then the next time, if the price has gone down like it has today, you're going to buy more with that transaction. And basically, you know, over time, you're going to have a situation where probably your average price will be less than your average cost. And it just allows you to really turn whatever the market's doing into a positive. Because, I mean, you know, if the market's up, you're excited for your holdings being higher. And if the market's down, you know, you're excited because you're buying more. It's kind of like shoes. I learned this I learned this a while back. You know how women love shoe sales, and well, for that matter, so do some guys. But anyway, so, you know, in this business, the financial business, sometimes there's a sale and no one shows up. You know, they don't show up. Sometimes the salespeople don't show up. Whereas, you know, in the shoe business, it's amazing because not only do the shoe salesmen show up, but a lot of times the customers show up quite a bit. And, you know, in this market, they either show up and they have their masks on, or they are online and being very active with acquisitions of shoes in this example and stuff. So, you know, it's just kind of interesting. I said masks there, and it jogged my memory on something that happened yesterday. I was watching or reading something. Oh gosh. Anyway, Fauci, the gentleman that's in charge of the COVID back there in Washington, D.C. and stuff, I think it was him that had come out and said that it was okay to double mask. So not only can you mask, and hopefully you are, for your health and those around you and stuff, but you can now double mask. And, he was kind of showing the strategy he uses and stuff. And then there was a couple pictures of, different celebrities or people they've caught, that were double masking and stuff. So kind of an interesting idea. Although, I guess you don't want to mask so much that you can't breathe, but still you want to stay as far away from this virus as you possibly can, because it has been deadly and dangerous and stuff. So anyway, I just saw that, and that jogged my mind there real quick. Let me look at something here. I have a mystery guest here in a minute, and we'll call and get her on the line here. Anyway, so we've gone through the pricing. We've gone through the stewardship course. I'm going to dial this guest here in a moment, and we're going to talk about a few things, gold, silver, maybe one or two other things. We're not going to be on long, maybe 15 minutes, and then we'll get into some of the other topics that I wanted to cover in today's market. And some are just kind of timely because of, it's January, it's winter, earnings are coming. I mean, there's just all kinds of things, coming up. I mean, it's just kind of interesting. It's like every day there's something new going on out there, and all kinds of developments. I know I wish I had bought GameStop back in December, because, that's where most of our dollars went, or I should say Santa Claus's dollars went, was to acquire different things at GameStop. In fact, tell you the truth, it was kind of funny. Our oldest was in town, and one morning I grabbed him, and because he's very, very good at all that and everything, and we went to GameStop, and I pretty much got about 90% of my shopping done. But bear with me here. Let me try and call this young lady here.
Hello.
Mary Jo.
Yes.
Hey, it's Tony Hammock up in Springfield at Axe Media Group.
Very good. Well, Anthony, how are you doing?
I am well, and you?
I'm up and rocking for the day, snow and all.
Okay, well, real quick, a little intro to our guest here, Mary Jo Green. She's from Branson, Missouri. And Mary Jo and I go way back. We've done several business ventures together, and currently she is a participant in 7K Metals, which we've talked about a couple times in the last year, and definitely has a big interest in gold and silver. She's also kind of a entrepreneur. She's almost what I'd call a serial entrepreneur, because
That's good.
yeah, would you say that'd be a good description?
Oh yeah, good definition.
She is by far and away probably the best salesperson I have come across in my life. She is 80 years young. Sorry, I had to throw that out there.
That's okay. I blew out all the candles.
But I will tell you that she has more energy and drive than people that are half her age, people that are a quarter of her age. I mean, she is just absolutely phenomenal. So thank you for tuning in or being able to join us remote with such short notice. She and I had talked about her being on the show about a couple weeks ago, and I don't know, I think we both just kind of forgot about it. And then this morning I was thinking, oh gosh, today's the day Mary Jo was going to be on, and of course it's snowing outside, and she's in Branson. So we're going to do this remote for now, but we'll have her in the studio live and in person somewhere in the future. How's that, Mary Jo?
Oh, absolutely. Well, let me use the wrinkle cream really well before we zoom in on it.
Well, I know you're excited about a new project that you're involved with. And I don't want to let the cat out of the bag or anything like that, but do you want to share that with our audience?
Well, I absolutely can. Anytime you get into the health industry, there's always a little skepticism. I've worked around the allopathic field, uh, when I was earlier in the 80s and earlier than that, and I worked in a pathology lab, and I was a medical secretary, and then worked for 8 Barnes Jewish doctors. So I've been around the allopathic field, uh, off and on for a lot of years prior. But anyway, what prompted me to get into this was in the last year, I had 2 car wrecks, not my fault. Thank you. And then at around Thanksgiving, I tripped on a small rug, which they say for geriatrics, that's a real dilemma in a house, is small rugs tripping. But anyway, I tripped on the rug and my dishes went flying and I landed on my left knee on a tile floor. That, with accumulation of all the things, I just, I have been taking care of myself with the other uh, wonderful product that both Tony and I are very familiar with. And I ended up using it in conjunction with this new item, and it's called LifeWave Patch. And my friend Charlotte Watts introduced me to it, and she learned about it from her chiropractor, and it was to help my knee heal. So I said, okay. So she gave me some patches, and I used the patches, and they're called Ice Wave, and I used it on my knee, and I will tell you that it helps the pain level just dissipate. I was basically out of my brace in 3 weeks. I was supposed to be in it for 6.
Wow, that's amazing.
I know it. So anyway, that's my story, and there are many others that have had stories. But do you want to know a little about it, Tony?
Well, I think we do. I mean, just for the audience sake, one of the reasons I like to have guests like Mary Jo on is, yes, we have a connection with the gold and silver through 7K,
Absolutely.
but with things like this, which do venture more into the health arena,
Right.
when it comes right down to it, if you don't have your health, you don't care about your wealth. I mean, it's just
Right.
they kind of go hand in hand. That's one of them. And the other thing is that in this day and age where there's so many people out of work and kind of scrambling to make ends meet and stuff, this also has kind of a little bit of a job opportunity, so to speak. I mean, I believe it's direct marketing, but I don't know, Mary Jo, you've been doing pretty good with this, haven't you?
Oh yeah. Well, the thing is the value to the LifeWave company is David Schmidt started this company over 15 years ago, and the LifeWave patches they have about 40 patents. So, when you start knowing what the science is behind it, then it is valid. Um, and the mission of LifeWave to begin with is just like you're saying, utilizing this patented technology to improve all aspects of our health and well-being. I mean, that's what we're after. And, without using medication every time we turn around. And that's my big thing. I use no medications, none. I just do supplements and things like this, and then, a piece of electroceutical equipment and things like that. So I've done it. But since 2004, LifeWave helps people all over the world. And and the patches themselves, they'll deliver energy, better sleep, reduce stress, sharper mental focus, but the big one is the activating stem cell patch called the X39.
Yeah,
That
I was going
is
to say
phenomenal.
let's focus on that one because we got just a short amount of time today. But
Absolutely.
that is the one that got my attention. It's called X39, and
Right.
I'm sorry for butting in there, but I agree. That's a pretty neat one.
Yeah. No, you should. And do you feel like it has helped you?
Well, you're making me kind of jump ahead of where I was going to throw that.
Okay,
No. That's fine. Hey, real quick though, let me throw this out.
Sure.
If you're intrigued by just the little bit that she's mentioned about the LifeWave product, her website is www.lifewave.com /
MJG40.
MJG40.
Uh-huh.
And if you plug that in, you'll see Mary Jo Green up at the top right. It's kind of yellowed out there and stuff, but you'll see the
Right.
website. And one of the things that she mentioned that I think is really, really neat is if you go down to the bottom of the homepage here, and I got to scroll down and make sure I'm on the right one here. I think I am. But yeah, if you go down to the bottom of the homepage, and they got all these little links in here about different things, but go to the one on science. And
Right.
and that's what blew me away was that there are like over 80 studies, I believe, that have been done on LifeWave products. Some of them are, double-blind studies and with people that are not affiliated with LifeWave. I mean, these are scientists and doctors and so forth that have conducted these for different reasons and stuff. And I would encourage you to check that out because there is so much science that's there, and you can download the PDFs and so forth. And
Absolutely.
yeah. But anyway, go ahead. I apologize. I wanted to make sure they
no,
had your website.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you. But LifeWave has it. First of all, it's a patented technology, as you can imagine. It's backed by clinical studies of 20 years. And David Schmidt, the founder of LifeWave, has worked endless hours and times and years on getting all of this done. And he has developed to date not only the mother of all the patches, in my estimation, is the X39 LifeWave stem cell. And what that does is it mobilizes and activates your own stem cells, which you lose as you age. So you can imagine at my age, I've lost a lot. So I'm trying to install them. But they have patches for energy enhancing. Ice Wave is for pain relief. Silent Night helps your sleep. The Aeon is to reduce stress and decrease inflammation. The glutathione, and it supports the immune system and promotes release of stored toxins, which we all have. And the YH carnosine is it's clinically proven to increase your stamina, improve strength and flexibility. And then you've got your, by the way, they have AccuLife for horses, if you can believe
I saw that. Yeah, that's pretty amazing.
Yeah. And you also, it's interesting to go in and check out your pets. Dogs can have this applied to them. And then the SP6 Complete stimulates points in your body known to regulate appetite and reduce cravings. So there is, and the Nirvana is for mood enhancing and helps sleep. So there is a myriad of choices. And then I'll tell you, athletes are really starting to use. Venus Williams and her sister they utilize the energy patch and other things, with the LifeWave patch. And one thing, Dr. Norm Shealy, whom I absolutely think the world of, have dealt with him in the past years. He is on the a board with LifeWave, and he is just such a credible individual.
Well, let me stop you there just real quick because
Sure,
we're going way past something I wanted to make a big deal of.
Okay.
You mentioned horses. They've got a product specifically designed for the equine market.
Exactly.
And the reason why I wanted to go back to that and make kind of a big deal for our audience is,
Right.
the thing is with horses, they're not, they don't know how to not tell the truth. I mean, they're not humans, and so I mean,
It is what it is.
it is what it is. And I've
Yeah.
seen one video where they've got this one gentleman that specializes with not only horses, but he's a distributor with LifeWave and stuff, and he literally goes to the horse and rubs his hand across maybe like their hindquarters and stuff. And if there's a spot that's got some pain, the horse kind of flinches. And then what he'll do is he'll put the LifeWave patch on that spot and make sure it's on. And then he'll take in a few minutes, and not even a few minutes, a few seconds, kind of rub back over the same spot, and there's no flinch.
That's exactly right.
It is absolutely amazing. And my little testimony is that
Oh, yeah.
yeah, Mary Jo wanted me to kind of get into a minute ago, just real quick, is I had found LifeWave years ago because I've been interested in stem cells for a while, and I found LifeWave, and I just for whatever reason just never really pursued actually getting some patches and vetting it to that degree. And a couple weeks ago, Mary Jo and I were working on another project, and she brought up the fact that she was now very much involved with them. So she brought me a few sample patches, and I told her I was interested in the X39. So there was 5 or 6 of those in there and stuff. And I will admit, the first day I put an X39 on, it was like, I kind of feel, yeah.
Skeptic.
But a little skeptical. Well, I'm just, as I get older, I get more skeptical. But I will tell you this. I think it was the 3rd day where I've got like this chronic thing in my lower back that, usually is causing me discomfort. And I want to say about halfway through that afternoon, it dawned on me I didn't have any discomfort. And I was like, oh, that's kind of neat. I feel like I'm, 30 years old again and stuff. And and I called Mary Jo and I said, is that the patch? And she goes, yeah, probably, because those stem cells, they're going to go to that spot that probably needs the most attention, because it's got some deficit or something and stuff. So sure enough, next day, another X39 patch, no discomfort. So I'm very much interested in getting ready to acquire a few of my own here and stuff. But now, is it okay to put your phone number out there in case somebody wants to talk to you directly, Mary Jo?
Absolutely. I'll be glad to help, anybody. And they can do that, or they can text me. Because I do text. They can text me and say, their name and how to get back to them. Absolutely. Yeah, I would love that.
What is that?
Okay, my number is 417-337-1836.
So that was 417-337-1836.
Right, and it's Mary Jo Green, Green.
Yeah. And if you're from Branson, you probably know Mary Jo because she is all over the place down there, darting around, doing business and shopping. And, I mean, she is just a bundle of energy. And I've got to tell you, it's amazing to witness because, all kidding aside, I mean, really, there are people that are a lot younger that are not energetic at all. And so anyway, well, we're quickly running out of time. Let me ask you this. Is there anything in particular that, do you have any kind of promotions going on? Do you have any meetings coming up that if somebody was interested, they could attend? Is there anything, out of the ordinary?
Yes, I'll tell you what. If anybody wants me to send them the information on an 8 o'clock Central Time, discussion with 2 of the biggest, well, they're big in the company. They're in the presidential status of LifeWave. And 8 o'clock tomorrow, I can send them the flyer on their phone, and they can get the info and the number to call and the ID to get in. And it's well worth it. These people have terrific stories. And one of them being Michael Accurso, whom we are working with down here. And he had 3 car wrecks, and he almost died. He was in bed for a year and a half. His story is incredible. And he found LifeWave, and it was like bada bing. He was on the road to recovery. So they're on tomorrow night at 8 o'clock, along with David Jumper, who had a personal story as to why he got in it. That's what makes people do this. And
Well,
you know what? The thing, it's affordable as well. That's what I like. And it's natural.
yeah. I mean, that's the thing is there's no drugs. It's not intrusive. In fact, these patches are about the size of a quarter maybe at the biggest, like the old Susan B. Anthony dollars. This is the size that it kind of reminded me of and stuff. But once again, Mary Jo's phone number is 417-337-1836, and I know she'd be happy to send you that flyer if you wanted to attend and stuff. And other than that, Mary Jo, I probably should, thank you profusely for jumping on as quick as you did and stuff. It's always a blast to visit with you, and I know we've got some other things we needed to probably talk about later today and stuff like that. So I'll be back in my office after probably 1 o'clock.
Well, you are a champ yourself. I believe you and I have such great discussions, and I appreciate you, going ahead and inviting me to this. You are a go-to guy, and I love people like that. Really, you are.
Well, I tell you what, you have a great rest of your day, and please be safe if you get out on these roads.
Absolutely. Okay.
Okay.
Thanks for the opportunity.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, Tony.
Yeah, there we go. Okay, we're clear there. She is, I mean, I kid you not, a bundle of energy, and she has a plethora of interest. So if you're not necessarily interested in LifeWave, that's fine. She'd be happy to talk to you about gold and silver with 7K metals and one or two other things. So anyway, thanks so much, Mary Jo, for joining us. The other things real quick in the remaining time we've got, I kind of wanted to mention a few new things for my agency, let's call it, Hammock Financial Group. And one is we've added a short-term medical product. It's from an insurance company out of Kansas City, but the rates are affordable. I mean, if somebody's in between jobs or they don't want to pay, what is that, Cobra, because that's kind of expensive, you might give me a call on this one just because I did a quote here just recently, Monday to be exact, for a young man and two sons. And, I mean, it was a phenomenal quote, I thought. I mean, there was about 6 choices, and I think the one that he is leaning towards, is basically very, very affordable. And then, like, for example, if he has to go to urgent care, I think it's like $50, and they waive the deductible. So, with children in the family, that kind of stuff, that might not be such a bad way to go. We there for a while, Lauren and I knew some of the folks at urgent care on a first name basis years ago when we had all 4 boys at home and stuff. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. So short-term medical, and then there's also an accident policy that they offer, and I kind of like to wrap that around. And the accident policy, I mean, it goes from $14 a month for like $2,500 of coverage, all the way up to, I want to say, $46 a month, and that's for $10,000 of coverage with a $250 deductible. So, it makes a nice 1-2 combo, if you will, as far as the medical plan and then the accident plan and stuff. So I don't have anything to show you. I wish I had thought far enough ahead to have done that, but I'll have some with me next week as far as a brochure or something that we can get into. But we've added that. And then the other thing that we have recently added that we're just having so much fun with is the final expense policies. And I mean, there's probably 100 plus companies out there that provide final expense policies. And, I've got a few that are my favorites. The one that I really like is Senior Life out of Thomasville, Georgia. Senior Life has been around for 50 years. And a couple reasons I like them is, first off, they can pretty much insure anybody. I mean, I guess there's always that case. I mean, it's case by case. I probably shouldn't make it a all inclusive, but here's their conditions chart, and the conditions chart, all of these conditions could end up with a policy, and their policies here in the state of Missouri are small, whole life policies, and but I mean, a person could have AIDS, Alzheimer's. They could be bedridden. They could be legally blind. They could have a blood disease disorder, brain disorder, nervous disorder, cancer that's been treated, cancer that's not treated in the last 2 years, cerebral palsy, chronic illness, circulation, cystic fibrosis, dementia, diabetes uncontrolled or complications, heart condition treated, heart and lung disease, heart condition, high blood pressure, home health care currently, Huntington's disease, kidney disease, liver disease, Lou Gehrig's disease, lung disease including COPD, mental disorder. I don't have my glasses on, so when I first saw that, I thought it was going to say marital disorder. I realized, oh wait, that's mental disorder. Multiple sclerosis, muscular dystrophy, organ disease case by case, oxygen currently, paralysis, seizures, taking medication, no seizures in 2 years. Seizures, have had seizure in past 2 years. Stroke, transplant, wheelchair bound currently, any other disorder, disease, hospitalized 2 or more times in the past 3 years, hospitalized 2 or more times in the past 6 months, unexplained weight loss in the past 6 months, used any form of tobacco or nicotine, blood pressure reading over 135, over 85, surgery in the last 2 years, surgery in the last 5 years. I mean, this outfit is amazing. Now, with that said, the caveat is they probably have 8 different categories that you fall into. If you're super healthy, you're going to be the ultimate preferred, which would be the least expensive. And then they go to super preferred, and then preferred, and so forth. And then there's standard, and then below standard, there's 3 categories, and then the final category is guaranteed issue, which guaranteed issue would be more expensive than some of the ones above it and so forth. But I will tell you, one of the neat things in this market that I like, another thing they do, is a lot of companies are going to throw out ads, direct mail, over the TV, whatever it is, and they're going to say, hey, guaranteed issue $10,000 from XYZ insurance company. If you're a 60-year-old male, it's $62 a month. And for some people, that's appealing. If you've got a situation health-wise where you probably can't get insured, or it'd be cost prohibitive, with an underwritten type policy. And that's the thing. This is non-med. I mean, they do have health questions, and they do want to know the medications you're on. But back to my point, which is they will work with just about everybody and then come out with the plan that would somewhere in that category from guaranteed issue up. And those other ones that'll say guaranteed issue in the ads, what they have is usually a waiting period. And what I mean by that is that like one I recently had a client call me about. She was interested for her husband. $10,000, $66 a month, guaranteed issue. And she read it to me over the phone, and I said, well, usually those policies have a 2-year waiting period. She goes, yeah, I noticed that. I read the fine print. And I said, okay, so what that means is if he passes away in the first 2 years, then all you're going to get is the premiums plus 10%, so 110% of the premiums, which, I mean, basically is money back, but it's not going to be the $10,000. This example, the person would have to live 2 years and a day, and then if something happened, the beneficiary would get the $10,000. So, in her case, we got together, went through the app with Senior Life here, and her husband came out preferred, so he was able to get a policy that was immediate benefit. And what that means is the minute that he had made his first premium payment, the policy was in effect. In other words, the next day he could have gone out and, God forbid, been in an accident, and it would have paid the full face value. And in this case, they have a little accidental death feature rider they can throw on there. So without spending too much time on that, I just think it's a neat thing to think about if you don't have an idea of how things would be taken care of if you should pass. And if you need help or just information on that, my number is 417-755-0700. You can reach me at tony@thegoldaffiliate.com. Be happy to provide information, answers. If you want to take and see what it would cost, we can run through the questionnaire real fast, and it'll tell us where you land and stuff. But I would encourage you to do that, just because if you the question I always ask people is this: if you passed away today, how would it be taken care of, and who would pay? And for the most part, there's a lot of people out there that don't know. And I mean, if that's the case, then we can provide some solutions. And I guess more so in this COVID-19 era, I just went to way too many funerals last year, as I'm sure all of you did. That I thought I would mention that. And so we've got that going. Let me see. What else did I bring along? I showed my most recent coin here last week from 7K. And, back to, I did forget this. Let me throw this out real quick because I'm almost out of time. With the Senior Life, they have a sister company called Legacy Assurance. And Legacy Assurance, it's not mandatory. You do not have to put it on the policy. It is $4 a month. But what it provides is basically they call it the Wish Team. And the Wish Team will take and go in for you and negotiate everything with the funeral home. So, it's one of those things, if you're upset and you didn't plan that much in the future, or in the past, and stuff, this Wish Team will step in. They'll get you the best price on all the different items and stuff, and they'll set everything up according to your loved one's plans and everything. And it's $4 a month. Like I said, you don't have to choose it, but it's pretty darn handy, just from what I've seen so far and everything. But other than that, Matt, our producer, just came back in the room. How much time we got? We're out of time. I can't believe it. That went by so fast. So real quick, if we're still recording for the YouTube and Facebook folks, be careful out there. It's slick. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thanks to Jim and Pam and Dr. Paul. And we will see you next week on Thursday at 10 a.m. Be safe.